You shouldn't have backlight. It's bad for the. How do you turn it on?
I'll turn it on.
I guess this isn't backlight, but.
Okay, turn it off.
I wonder what it would look like if we turn this on.
Turn it on.
Probably dark. You see what
Yeah, let's see. I mean, we look like we're ready to watch a movie.
Yeah. Might be coming up close.
Yeah.
This your forecast.
For what?
Fantasy forecast.
Fantasy.
Maybe I love a good fantasy forecast. There's not like
Who doesn't?
What's our fantasy? Like,
I'm fantasizing about my team winning a championship this year.
No,
Right?
you keep.
I'm on about a 4-year dry spell right
You're
now.
never gonna
boys.
live in that fantasy, but
I've been going for the more leagues, the higher odds.
Oh,
But I think it's just
okay.
watering me down. Like I'm just getting worse.
Dude, I've already denied like 3 leagues because people keep asking me. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like
I'm
it's too
in
much.
3, and I don't even want to be in 3 right now. So,
Yeah, I think I got 7 this year.
oh my gosh, that's wild.
So basically, if it's a 12-man, if you're in a 12-man league and you're in 7 of them, you're close to having an odds to win at least one of them, right?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like
Yeah.
I should just on variance alone, I should have a shot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it hasn't worked out yet because I've been in that many leagues for a few years now. It's just not my thing, I guess. But
Well,
So
you
listen to his advice
definitely,
because it will win you championships evidently.
maybe not championships, a game or two. I can probably help you get a game or two.
Well, I can tell you one thing. You're definitely better at giving the news.
Oh, I love giving the news.
Yes.
We can start with some
Give me
big
the
news where I'm going to have to eat my words and be wrong. But Gardner Minshew was named the official starter week 1 in Las Vegas.
Long hair, don't care.
Yep. Gonna swag it out there, I guess.
Yes, sir.
I think that's probably better, in my opinion, immediately for Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Like, that was my
he does
first
the ball
reaction.
behind Pittman, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, that's your guy too, right?
Oh, I love Minshew. I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I want to say I said that AOC would have Aiden O'Connell.
Don't call
Yeah.
him AOC.
That's the way it's written on.
Yeah,
Reddit,
that's
so,
what the Redditors
That's
call
not
him.
what we do. That's a politician.
I guess it is. Yeah.
One lady.
Because there is nothing wrong with working for a living.
I thought that he was going to be the guy to just throw it up there, just a gun.
You would think the young kid would want to do that, but I guess he's too scared to do it. But yeah, I think Aiden O'Connell, when he played, he didn't really want to risk it. He just wanted to
Yeah, it
play
didn't look like he played aggressive
his
enough.
arms and-
I also think the Raiders are kind of screwed. Like, the Falcons definitely screwed them with the Penix thing, like taking him much earlier, and nobody really predicted them to be in on a quarterback after the Cousins stuff.
Yeah.
And it feels like they were all in on him, in my opinion. But with the quarterback class not looking great next year, I mean, you might get a couple years out of Minshew here.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I hope
mean,
so.
I really do think he's going to get a shot here if he can stick. I think they would give him another year probably.
Who doesn't love Minshew though? I mean, everybody should be happy about this.
Yeah, literally everybody. I own O'Connell in the league, and I really needed him to start, and I'm still pumped for Minshew because he's just that guy.
Dude, I bet O'Connell's like, yeah.
Damn. You
he's
deserve it,
probably-
brother.
He's happy about it.
Yeah. So we might win some games this
Right.
year.
And they're going to win enough games that they're not going to be in a position to draft a quarterback. That's all I'll say about it.
Yeah. Moving on, we got Jalen Warren sidelined with a hamstring injury, and his status for week 1 is in jeopardy right now. That's got 33 rushing attempts for Najee Harris and a 13-10 loss written all over it.
Yeah, I could see that.
But if this lingers and it takes a while, I mean, Najee's going to be a volume machine in that offense, I think. I already thought he was going to be a very volume-based back, but now, I mean...
Dude, here's what I'll say, though. As far as the Steelers getting to be not losing, because that's one thing that Mike Tomlin doesn't do, is have a losing record.
Yeah.
So if we're going to go continue that historical trend, Najee's going to have to run for 3,000 yards. So,
actually,
Yes.
for that to work, that's what's going to have to happen.
Dude, Justin Fields is going to be RB number 2. That'd be kind of crazy.
oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that.
That would be really cool.
Honestly, the offense would probably benefit from having Justin Fields on the field as a playmaker elsewhere. I think it would benefit everybody.
I mean, he might be returning kicks. They could just try to do what the Bears did that one year, just they got Cordell Patterson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just try to return.
Just put him anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody
Something.
knows Justin Fields, like, athleticism-wise, is in the top tier in the NFL. I mean, it's not really a debate. Everybody knows that. So, I mean, maybe an easier position where it's less thought and just more instincts and athleticism.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wonder if Arthur Smith has ever heard of like the triple option offense. They could try to do something.
Get
like
out there
that.
and pistol Justin
Yeah,
Fields
why
at
not?
fullback.
Yeah.
If you can't throw the ball, you might as well try to run the ball better.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a hell of a runner.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, he's one of 2 quarterbacks to ever rush for 1,000 yards in a season.
Mhm.
Like,
Who was the other one?
Cameron.
Nope.
Jalen Hurts.
oh, this is easy
Lamar.
work. Easy work.
I don't
Older.
know.
Mike Vick, baby.
Oh, okay.
Well, Lamar definitely did it too.
Oh, Lamar too. Yeah, Lamar did do it. Sorry,
That's what I was
didn't skip over
referring to.
that. Yeah.
I don't really care. I think all the guys I just named are really good runners, so I don't.
Yep.
Really, who cares if they got 1,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because you and I have argued about Lamar Jackson being good. How good? Anyway, go ahead.
Next news.
Next news, man. It seems like Mayo over there in New England is kind of cooling down on Jacoby Brissett being ahead of Drake May.
Job as coaches to evaluate, and the competition isn't over. They're still going to go out there and they have to show not only their themselves and the coaches, but also their teammates. So it's definitely still a competition.
Now, could be mind games, whatever.
Yeah.
But
It
I think
could be-
May's looked all right. Like, he's
it could
definitely
be that.
flashed a little.
Could be that new coach type of thing where it's like, he wants Brissett to be the starter, but it's better to have the competition to
Yeah.
make all your players.
Yeah,
play
I'm
better.
sure Brissett is probably like the safer starter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, he's definitely hopeful in his head, like, maybe I can light a fire under Drake
Yeah.
May and kickstart the development or something.
Yeah.
But he showed a little bit against the Eagles. I liked some of what I saw. The deep ball looked good. I saw Javon Baker had a diving attempt at a ball that he definitely should have caught. I mean, this thing was a rope. Just dropped in a bucket, and he dropped it when he came down to the ground, but didn't get a lot of help from his receivers, and I was kind of worried about that anyways this year. Like, I don't really want either of these guys in fantasy year one.
Yeah.
How could you not be excited about starting Jacoby Brissett though? I mean, if that
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a New England fan, I'm pumped, right?
You think Mayo played with him back in the Dizzy?
Back in the Dizzy? I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look that out.
Yeah.
The Dizzy? that one can't stick.
Okay, whatever.
That can be a new catchphase.
I love
That can
that.
go on your soundboard.
I love that.
Back
I
in
love
the
that.
Dizzy.
I love that you're the one that says, "I'll have to edit that one out," instead of being like, "You'll have to edit that one out."
Well,
now,
I'm not-
now I can say the same thing to you.
Yeah. So, go. Okay, whatever. What's next?
We'll get into some more rumors here. We're seeing reports that Jahan Dotson might not be the locked-in wide receiver 2 or even a starter. And I've even seen some reports out there saying he's not a lock to make the roster this season. Like, that is rough. That's not good. He's not out there with the starters. I mean, he's out there playing in the second half of both these preseason games so far. It's the worst part is it's Olamide Zaccheaus is who is beating him out and getting all the praise in camp. It's De'Ami Brown. Like, it's not Luke McCaffrey, who they just brought in, like, shining as a third-round pick. It's like retread guys who we know aren't legit.
Yeah, just mid.
It's bad news. Like, it doesn't make me excited for Washington, like, as a receiving group outside of McLaurin. I mean, it's uh-oh.
At least you got a third for him.
Yeah, traded Dotson away for a third. I'm all right with that.
Okay, so you mentioned some of the players there who might step up as a wide receiver too, so to speak.
Right.
Like, what are you doing with this? Like, what moves are you making right now for this at all? Are you just avoiding it, or what? Like, what?
I mean,
What's going to happen?
Do you try to go and get those guys? Is what you're saying?
Like, what? How's this going to work out?
Here's what I'll say. If you're in a deep enough league where it's like maybe best ball or something, like a format like that where those lower end receivers do matter a little bit, like just being on your bench, Zaccheaus is probably on a lot of waiver wires.
Yeah.
Or just super cheap on somebody's bench. I mean, Jaden Daniels is obviously a rookie, and I don't think anybody is going to get like a massive amount of targets as a wide receiver too.
Yeah.
But
there could be a couple games where
there's going to be a couple games
yards,
where it's
get a
not.
touchdown.
Yeah, it's not Terry
Yeah.
McLaurin just killing everybody because I mean he is almost 30. He's not the same player he was a couple years ago. He's still very talented, but Yeah, I mean, I think there's room there. I guess what I would want to do would probably just be to bet on the new guy that this staff brought in. So, like, I would just want McCaffrey. Especially because right now, like, there's nothing inflating his value outside of this Dotson news because there's not, like, crazy rumors about him being the guy pushing the narrative or anything out there. Mm-hmm. So, long term, his talent can just win out. I mean, that's the bet I would want to try to make. Get some upside out of it, at least.
McCaffrey is definitely... His style is not one that's going to flash and camp, and he's not going to be doing crazy stuff.
Right.
So he's going to be more like in the game doing good.
Yeah.
So if he actually gets on the field, that's when he might.
I agree. I'm excited for him, man.
They don't have any.
I'm dangerously close to like being all in on Washington. It's that time of year where like I just start getting really hyped, and then we win 5 games.
Yeah, you really.
And it's like, I should have seen that coming because it happens every year.
Hey, one of those games is usually against the Eagles.
Yeah, one of those wins is normally against Philly. We play Philly really well for some reason. Hopefully that can stick, but
yeah, it's normally whenever we're like 12-3, and it's the last week of the season. And we have the chance to get the number 1 seed.
Yeah, it's like, easy like game, wrap it up for the first round bye.
And then they just...
I remember a couple years ago, you guys were undefeated.
Oh, yeah. Like this tonight if they're able to close it out. They're going to throw on 3rd down and 7. Instead, Heineke wisely, and now a flag. Wow. And that's going to, in essence, end the game.
Knocked you out. That team just plays well against, like, when they're crazy heavy underdogs for some reason. That was the only time Rivera was able to motivate those guys. It's just like, if you gave him bulletin board material, that was his only motivator.
That year, and then there was another year where it's like we were on the breach of making playoffs, and then they bumped us out. Yeah.
We're doing our thing. Last thing on the news was Marvin Mims only played 1 snap in the first half with the Denver Broncos starting offense. Well, 1 snap period in the first half, rather. Yeah. And it was with the starting offense.
This was after he played like into the 4th quarter of the first game. So
at this point, you get into halftime and you say, okay, we're in a good spot. He doesn't come out right as the 3rd quarter starts, and you're like, perfect. This has to mean, they're saving him. They're good. Well, then he plays half the 3rd quarter and the entire 4th quarter, and it's like, that has doghouse written all over it, in my opinion. And I mean, he's not even listed high up on the depth chart. He's 4th on the depth chart right now. I mean, they have Tim Patrick, who hasn't played football in 2 years and is 31 years old, as the number 2 receiver on that depth chart right now. Josh Reynolds is 3 right now. They just signed him coming off his year in Detroit. I mean, I'm in on both those guys and Troy Franklin over Marvin Mims at this point. I'm out. If I can get anything for him, great. If not, I don't want him on my bench.
Yeah, that's tough because it could just be a flyer, and one game can't really determine it all. But it's tough to say. It's like a lot of these, like Mingo, it's like
What do you make of that stuff? Yeah, preseason's tough right now.
Yeah. So
what happened with Mingo?
He's just in the same boat. It's like he's.
I mean, he has some draft capital behind him, but it's just the talent hasn't shown that yet.
He's got a good opportunity in the place where he's at. He was drafted a little bit higher up, and you're thinking this guy could easily fall into that wide receiver 3 spot, and then he just blows up in your face.
I mean, it really reminds me of what we just talked about with Jahan Dotson in Washington. It's like they're losing out to guys that we know are not special.
Yeah.
And for me, that's just, okay, I'm moving on then.
I've always liked Tim Patrick.
I did too, man. Yeah. I liked him a lot when he was coming up. I think he could be somebody that could score some fantasy points this year, but it's just so tough to know if you even want to have the number 2 receiver in Denver. It's just like Washington, where we just talked about rookie quarterback. It's just.
Yeah. I might be buying the Bo Nix hype a little bit too much, but I think the wide receiver 2 in Denver could actually be worthwhile. Whether it's I'm Josh Reynolds. I'm in that camp right now. I think he could be good.
He looked good last year. He really did, and I think he could play a similar role. I mean. He's not somebody who needs 20 targets. Like you can give him his 5 targets a game, and he's gonna make some deep plays for you and provide what your offense needs.
I have no love for Josh Reynolds after wishing the Lions would have beat the Niners last year in the playoffs. So I can't go anywhere near Josh Reynolds because he messed up like twice.
Yeah, he did. Game. He did have some bad plays.
Josh Reynolds.
Yeah. Blitz coming. Goff over the middle, and it's dropped. Oh, it was a first down gimme and Reynolds could not hang on. Goff to throw. Here comes pressure. Escape. Fires over the middle, and it is incomplete.
So I would stick with the hometown boy with Tim Patrick because I mean obviously the Broncos love him. They keep bringing him back. Like he's a decent player and he's got that veteran presence where it's like you're probably going to beat out anybody like Marvin Mims or who knows, even Troy Franklin, who might not be that guy. So I like Tim Patrick for that. He's a good wide receiver too.
I do think it's interesting that we're all taking the veterans over the two choices Sean Payton himself made.
Yeah.
And Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't. It's hard to trust Sean Payton.
It really is.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, that's all I got for news right now, man. A little bit slower.
Yeah.
I mean, the preseason is kind of a drag. It's this year, and the Broncos. I like watching them play because they're playing their starters besides Mims. Well, whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever that is.
So, but I did some cut-ups, and I'm getting excited though. Still,
Yeah.
There's real football going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
there is some football being played, believe it or not, in the preseason. Just a little bit.
and it's a good opportunity to watch these guys play, especially the receivers. So let's just watch Keon Coleman. I did a cut-up of him.
1,000 million views. All right, so this is with the starters. Josh Allen was in here.
Oh,
This is a little
Yep.
wheel
So
right
this
there.
is
okay.
early in the game, so it's nice to see him out there playing out wide.
I mean, I feel like that was pretty good there.
I want
That was a nice
route.
comeback.
to see who he's targeting too. Well, then
He just
Josh
he's
being
doing
Josh.
good. He's just being Josh Allen. Some of the comments are saying that he's really slow.
Keon Coleman.
Yeah, but when he's running these crossing routes, he's like being deliberately slow. Look at him right here. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean he beat him on that.
he's
sure.
not that fast, but that was like a switch pat.
Yeah, I think when he gets up to speed, I mean he looks like he has NFL speed. It's just off the line, he doesn't look, super explosive.
That looked like just a fake route.
Right, like a designed.
This one's pretty sick here.
Yeah, that looks good.
There we go.
I feel like he's a guy. He's got a lot of top end speed, but not as much. Like you
Acceleration
said,
or burst.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like that route is just.
Yeah, I mean that route looks like
somebody
he
else.
had no intention of getting the ball.
Just all these just look like distraction routes. Maybe it could be a sign that he wants to go to a place. Did he catch that?
Yes, he did.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure this is his touchdown, isn't it?
I don't. No. This
No,
was
it's
week
not.
one. He doesn't
This is
have
the
a
week
touchdown.
one. Okay, gotcha.
These last two end zone targets were a little bit rough. I don't know.
Yeah,
Trubisky's in there right now, so it's like
Yeah.
ball placement, maybe. I don't know. There's
Yeah,
also,
I mean, even that's like, what are you throwing out there? He had to float over 3 linebackers to try to fit that in there. I mean, I'd like to watch him.
Dunze.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan. You guys know I'm all in on that guy.
Watch a Dunze.
I've actually really been growing on him. He's somebody to me that obviously has like the top end talent, but it looks like on these broken plays, like Caleb's been looking for.
Yeah.
Like he really has been, and obviously he's out there in 3 receiver sets. I don't expect him to take 2 receiver sets from Keenan or DJ Moore, but I mean, I'm not somebody who's gonna say Keenan Allen's gonna play a full season. Like has that ever happened? I mean, he's coming off his best season of his career for sure.
That's something you'd like to see right here, that he's just throwing that ball no matter what.
Yeah.
Maybe not as a Caleb Williams owner, but for Roman
Right. I mean, yeah, that's
like,
what you want for.
Yeah, you want to see him throw it to them guys no matter what.
Absolutely.
That was a nice slide.
They've been practicing. You guys watch Hard Knocks? They got the slip and slide out there.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Trying to teach him how to slide.
Yep. Yeah, they had everybody out there doing it. But looks clean, looks good.
Who's 20, the running back? Is that Roshan Johnson?
It might be Roshan, yeah.
He didn't play that much, or Dunze didn't, but
No,
I thought he looked.
not in week 1, but week 2 he had a couple nice. He had that deep sideline catch, and then another end zone target where it looked like he would have had a touchdown if maybe they had painted their end zone. Instead, they had 3 white lines running about this far apart, all in the back, and he didn't know which one, so he had his feet inside the outside one, but it was actually the middle one.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, what are we doing? Like,
it was kind of confusing.
yeah.
And that's all Russell knows how to do.
Yep.
That's
He does it every time he
drops
drops back. Yep. It's just, all right, don't over pursue. You got him.
Yeah.
He can't run away from you right now.
Kenny Pickett's good at it.
Oh, yeah. You know what Kenny Pickett's good at?
Dumping it off.
Handing the ball off. He's even better at it.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, you let that guy get the rock, turn around. There's nobody better in the league.
Touchdown in preseason.
He had a nice ball.